Spear here, and today I'm going to talk to you about do you struggle with showing gratitude or being grateful or being happy with and content in your life. So if you struggle with being grateful and having gratitude, then today's the day you want to be on. So hey, if you're watching this live, comment below, say live, and if you're watching it on the replay, type in replay. Love to hear from you, figure out what's going on. So hey, let's dive right into it. So in the 1946 film It's a Wonderful Life, a guy named Clarence, an angel named Clarence, he came to a guy, George Bailey. And George Bailey was about to jump. He was on a bridge and he was about to jump and end his life. And Clarence the angel basically grabbed him and said, you know, you need to be grateful for what you have. And so he had a couple options when he talked to George, excuse me, when the angel Clarence grabbed George, he had a couple options. And so one of the things he could have done is he could have showed him all the great things he had, but instead he showed George what his life would have been like, what his life would be like had he not been born at all. And you know, he basically walked him through and brought him through all the different things in life. If you haven't seen the movie, he brings him through all the different people that he wouldn't have affected, people that wouldn't have been born, and you know, all these different things. And rather than show him the good things, he had him reflect on what life would have been without him. And by doing that, it shows him just how rare and precious the things are in his life. He got to see just how important his whole family was and the different things that he has, and what a huge way to show gratitude. So today, the concept I'm talking to you about is called subtraction. You know, it's what psychologists call subtraction or mental subtraction. Mental subtraction. And the concept is, and the idea is just what the movie talks about. It's basically showing you, having you look at the way life could have been without you, or without the things you have. And so it's scientifically proven that by looking at these things and focusing on these things, it's the best way to boost your gratitude and boost your happiness. So just walking around today in this park, it's beautiful, beautiful day. It was super, super cold the other day, and so it's warmed up, and I just appreciate you being here. Again, you know, comment, I'm grateful if you're watching this and you are grateful for things that are going on. Just, you know, love you guys, and just I'm grateful for, you know, everyone that's here to support me. So let's dive right into this. I'm going to sit down because it's just easier, and set this thing up. See if I can do this. Yay, awesome, rock and roll. So let's talk about it. So the concept, like I said, it's called subtraction, mental subtraction. And what you're going to do is you're going to realize or imagine the absence of, you know, a positive event or something like that. And what they've found, research has shown, is that by you focusing on whether that positive event never happened, is more powerful than you just focusing on the event itself and trying to be grateful for the event itself. And I mean, it can be something as simple as, you know, getting the promotion versus not having the job at all. You know, what if you didn't have that job at all? But it's not just events, it's also possessions, material things in your life, it's relationships, and I think the relationships are probably even more powerful as the movie proved to be. So so here's an example. You know, if you lost someone close to you today, you know, whether it's your mom, your dad, your spouse, a child, you know, what would that be like? You know, think about it. How different would life be? You know, what if you didn't even meet? You know, what if, you know, you didn't even meet that spouse or that job you have, if you'd ever, you know, met the boss and had the company you're at? What would life be? How would that be different for you? I mean, I can't imagine. You know, this year we celebrate 20 years with my wife being married, and I'm so blessed. She's an amazing, amazing woman, and man, to sit down and really think about, because part of this exercise was to do that, to pick something, and you know, man, I can't imagine. It would be unbelievable to think how my life would be. I wouldn't have a daughter. I wouldn't have a grandson. Man, I wouldn't have the nieces and nephews and great nieces and nephews I have. I wouldn't have 20 years of being with the most amazing woman in the world. I wouldn't have been able to share the things and done the things that we have, and I just can't imagine. So, I mean, I'm just so grateful. It just helps me recognize just how grateful I am to have her and the things in life that we've been able to experience because I have her in my life. And I'm so blessed. God brought her to me, over 21 years ago now, almost in May. It'll be 21 years, and what a blessing. So I digress in a way, but I'm just, again, I hope this kind of helps you with an exercise in yourself and in determining how you can be more grateful and focus on things. So what about your health? What if all of a sudden you lost your health? What if you lost your good health and things turned awry? What would that be like? I mean, aren't we grateful for the health we have? I mean, gosh, with COVID and so much going on with that, I'm sure you can imagine what, you can see the effects of bad health. So, man, what if you lost your vision? Lost your hearing? What if you weren't able to walk or talk or hear? Man, so many things to be grateful for. I mean, it was really cold here the last few days for us, at least in Texas. I got some friends in Canada that laugh at me when I tell them it's 30 degrees when it's 30 below where they're at. So, but anyway, just, we didn't have a warm home to sleep in. I mean, I'm grateful for the home that God has provided, the bed that I have, the heater that's on, the sun that's warming me now. I mean, gosh. So anyway, we could just keep going on and on, but if we didn't have these things, how would we be grateful? And so I hope you see just a simple way of recognizing a way to see how grateful, to see, so if you get caught up in, the poor me and the complaining and other things in life, I mean, what a simple concept to just realize, what if you didn't have the things that you're complaining about? What if you didn't have the opportunity to be complaining about the specific things, whether your AC broke or, your car's broke down, or heck, you lost your job like me, Well, not some people never had the opportunity to have a job. They just never work, and they're struggling. So again, I just not to bring things down, but I want you to have a way to recognize emotionally, because when you get emotionally attached to it, man, you really can start seeing how grateful you can be. So I talked about that. What would it feel like? So then, by imagining that the important things or the important people don't exist, you can genuinely start appreciating, the things you do have, the people you have. And man, if you're grateful for someone or something, comment below. Let me know what you're grateful for, because as I've listed here, I'm grateful for all the things that I've talked about. But if you're grateful for something, man, list it below. Comment and tag them. Tag them and let them know, hey, I'm grateful, and I want you to know, because I watched this video. I'm going to reach out and tell you. So, they may need to hear this too, and so you comment, share it with the people that that you're grateful for. You can do the same thing with your achievements, right? If you never achieved where you are today, where would you be? Right? And so you can be grateful for your achievements, your position, your status, if you will. I'm going to say status meaning, how successful you are in your company or your business. I mean, had I not been laid off, I wouldn't been able to be in business for myself. I wouldn't have been able to be in business, not only not in business for myself, but be able to spend every single day with my wife. That's a whole nother conversation I want to have. But so many people struggle with spending that much time with their spouse. I mean, we spend every day together, all day. I mean, if you know it, you know it's true. And I talk to people and they're like, I don't know how you do it. And it's through the grace of God. I tell people, God gives her the grace to put up with me. But ultimately, I married my best friend, and she's the person I want to be with the rest of my life. And so I can't imagine being life without it, that being that way. So again, I'm just appreciative of what we've accomplished together as well. So what it does is it gives you the ability. So rather than measure yourself against all these ideals or what people think you should be, or what you wish things were, or this crazy concept of whatever, the fact of the matter is you where you exactly need to be. God has placed you exactly where you are for the right reasons at the right time, and you need to be grateful for it, and you need to appreciate what He's done. You know, it's unmistakable, the achievements and the successes that you have. By focusing on those things that you cannot be denied. I mean, they can't be. Everyone knows, what you've achieved, what you've accomplished, and by looking back on it, you can see that. So, I'm going to walk through real quick some steps that you can take to start being more grateful, and using subtraction, using this mental subtraction to get this point. So, one thing I want you to do is pull out a piece of paper and a pen. And if you're watching this on the replay, click, again, type replay, and I'm going to have you do this, and just pull out this piece of paper, and then select, one specific thing, whether it's a person or an event or a physical thing that you have, and maybe it's a relationship or an achievement or something like that, and imagine what life would be like without it. What if instantly it was taken away? Whether it's your health, this possession, or whatever. Picture what that impact would be. What's the impact you would have on you right now? Whether it's physical, emotional, and write that down. Think about how losing that one thing would affect your future. What would your future look like? If you didn't have that one thing, or you didn't achieve that one thing, how would it affect the other people? Whether it's your spouse, your family, your business. If you own a business, and the people that you didn't get to hire, and if you're doing some other type of business and you're touching lives. I mean, I can't imagine. So what about that? Then write down how your life would be different. Right? Write down what would be different about it. Now, I want you to refocus on the present moment. Focus on the one thing that you've been focusing on that's a gain. That's a positive. Something that you have been appreciating, but how could you appreciate it even more? What could you do to really, really appreciate it even more? I don't know. Sure thing. But what could you do? How could you turn it into even more of a positive? What could you do? Then, just think about the thing that all these things, this thing that you've been working on. How has, now that you've changed your mindset, now that you've realized what it's like, what does that feel like? How much more do you appreciate it now? What are you going to do to show that appreciation? What could you do to show that appreciation because of what you've just done, to write it down and to look at it and realize what it'd be like without it? What could you do? How does it make you feel? If you're feeling grateful, write down comment grateful. So look, I just wanted to come out here and this beautiful weather. I wanted to take advantage of this gorgeous weather. I know I went a little long today, but I wanted to make sure that you get the picture, that you get to see exactly how you can be grateful for the things you have. And I appreciate you so much. If you're watching this on the replay, again, comment replay. If you watched it live, comment live. And again, if you're grateful for someone, tag them in this and let them know why you shared this, why you realize that, and what you've done to realize how grateful you are for them. Share and like this to anybody you know that loves and that needs to hear this. God bless you guys. I thank you so much for all you do and all your encouragement and support. And again, enjoy this beautiful weather, and God bless. Take care.